What type of buyer do you plan to be? Are you going to be that nervous buyer that literally makes themselves sick, like every step of the process? If you have the tendency to worry and to be nervous and to make a big deal out of small things, then this video is for you. My name is Tranett, and you just clicked on Car Conversations with a Realtor. I sometimes pull over and make these random videos for you to educate you and put you up on game as it relates to the home buying process. I want you to know what you can expect. I want you to know the emotions that may come up while you're in your process. I just want you to be adequately prepared. So let's talk about the nervous buyer. My heart is tender towards you all. When you're nervous, you make everybody else around you nervous. And I know you don't mean to, but this is something that I want us to address and talk about now. Once you start the home buying process, it is okay to research. It is okay to ask for referrals. It is totally perfectly fine to do your due diligence. But when you go over and above the normal that's required to purchase a home, and you make yourself sick because you lie awake at night thinking about this and that, and I wonder if they did this, and I wonder if they did that, when it's not even your job. Your job is not to worry. Your job is not to be nervous in the home buying process. Your job is to trust the process. You are supposed to prepare yourself, and then once you are prepared, you start the process. And from that, you just coast and you allow your team to work on your behalf. I have had buyers, of course, over the 17 years that have been so nervous they drove me crazy, like nervous pervis. I don't know where that term comes from, but it seems to fit right now. But they will just think of every scenario. They think of every what if. They just lay in the bed at night and just think about, what can I ask Tranett? What can I ask the loan officer? What can I ask the inspector? What if this happens? What if that happens? What if it goes wrong? So they start out the gate with this fear of making a mistake, this fear of being taken advantage of, this fear of it not working out, this fear of the deal falling through, this fear that they're not actually in the home buying process, that they're just going through the motions, and that none of this is even real. They just have these thoughts that really hinder the joy of the process. I want you to know that buying a home is joyful. I know you hear people say it's stressful. I know you've heard people say it's hard and they wouldn't do it again, but there are reasons why people have those attitudes, and everybody's experience is not the same. So if you are just afraid that you're not going to get pre-approved right at the gate, you're afraid to apply for the loan, you're afraid that they're going to tell you no, you're nervous if you're going to get an approval letter. So yes, you get the approval letter, then you go to the next step. You're nervous about the interest rate. You're nervous about the payment. You're nervous about the terms. You're nervous about the 30-year commitment. You're nervous. Then you start looking at houses. You're nervous about each home you go into. You're nervous if you're going to choose the right home. You're nervous if somebody has died in the house. You think about things, and although that's valid, people do ask if somebody has died in the home before or been killed in the home before. All of that's fine, but you're just overly concerned about things that you should not worry about. You make it hard for your lender and your realtor to do their jobs for you when you try to beat them to the table with a new question. Well, I wonder if they thought about this. Well, I wonder if Tranett thought about that. Or I wonder if my loan officer even knew about this. We usually do know. The only thing we don't know is your preference. You telling us what you want, what you're looking for, the payment amount that you need. Those are things that we have to rely on, and we get that information directly from you. That's our communication amongst one another. But I know what to do in every step of the process, and you can trust that the realtor that you hire is going to know also. You're not going to have to check behind them and follow up to see if they did X, Y, Z. A lot of times you worry yourself for no reason. And then you get all worked up when you feel like we should know, and we do already know. And I'm not saying that to be arrogant, and I'm not saying that to be cocky. I'm saying that because just like you know your job, whatever profession you have, you know what you're doing, then you have to trust that the team of professionals that you've hired, they also know. You're not our first client. This is not our first time closing on a house. When you hire a realtor and loan officer that is experienced and that they know what they're doing because they've done this over and over, they can do it in their sleep, you don't have to worry. They have your best interest at heart. I have my best interest at heart, for the best interest of my clients at heart all the time. I'm going to fight for them. I'm going to negotiate hard for them. I'm a bulldog when it comes to taking care of my clients. I'm not going to let you get pushed over. I'm not going to let you overpay. I'm not going to let you be taken advantage of by shoddy and shisty repairs done to the home. It has to be right, because I want to sleep well at night. I don't want to take advantage of you. And I'm thinking about you. Even if you don't think that I am thinking about you. I'm thinking about the next steps. I'm thinking about who I need to call. I'm thinking about what goes in what sequence. Because when you do this so many times, there is a sequence. And I need you to relax, nervous buyer. I need you to settle in and enjoy the process. You don't have to research everything on Google. You don't have to ask 50 people for their opinion about the same thing. You just need to relax and trust the process. Trust the person that you've hired. If you hire well from the beginning, that's the best thing you can do. The rest of it, you're going to be like, dang, this was so easy. This was so smooth. All this time, I've been so worried about the process. And you will come to find out that it went by so seamless and so smooth that you're even shocked. So don't be nervous. I want you to be aware. I want you to be plugged in and locked in and paying attention every step of the way. And I want you to ask questions. If you don't know something, then ask. No question is too childish or simple to ask. If you don't have the answer and you don't know and you need to know, and that's going to make you feel better, then by all means ask. And that means ask the loan officer. If you're looking at disclosures and you're looking at those numbers and it's not making sense to you, it's not adding up, you're unsure, then you must ask. That's different from being nervous and thinking that everybody is trying to take advantage of you, or that we're going to forget what we're supposed to do on your behalf. That's different. Asking questions to seek understanding is different from asking questions because you are afraid that the ball is going to be dropped, or that something is going to be missed, or that a mistake is going to be made. That's different. Don't micromanage the process. Write down your questions, ask your questions, and gain clarity. But don't micromanage the situation. Don't lie awake at night, looking at the ceiling, tossing and turning, thinking, I wonder if Tranett remembered to ask about the ceiling fan in the third bedroom, upstairs, back left corner. I wonder if she remembered to ask about that pool chain. Well, maybe I didn't. So that may be a fair question. I may have forgotten to ask, but usually I'm not going to forget. And usually your lender, your realtor is not going to forget. Now, we do sometimes need gentle reminders. We do sometimes need nudges, because 9 times out of 10, we're working with multiple clients at one time. But I don't want that to make you nervous. I don't want you to be afraid or feel like you are forgotten about, or that you are not as important. Let's say your pre-approval amount is a low amount and you're a first-time buyer and you're not buying a big expensive house like maybe some other buyers may be buying. You're just as important to us. I promise you are. At least to me. I have learned not to discount anyone in this business, because everyone is important. If you've been assigned to me and called to me by God for me to serve as your realtor, if your pre-approval amount is $100,000 or $1 million, then you're still just as important. So don't think that you don't matter, no matter what your budget is for your home buying process. You've got to prepare yourself. And let me say this, preparation will ease some of the fear, some of the nervousness. When you're prepared and you know what's up ahead, you know what to expect, you know how to gauge your feelings and emotions throughout the process, then you tend to recognize that, you tend to process it, and then you tend to move on, because you already know, okay, I remember My realtor told me about this, or I remember my mom told me that this would come up, and just to kind of pay attention to it, things will fall into place. You will be okay. I promise you will. It all starts with being prepared. When you're prepared for the opportunity, it's not as scary because you already know what's up ahead. It's just like if you had to do a presentation in front of your team at work. And in your presentation, you've created this amazing slideshow. You've studied it. You know what's there. You know what you want to say on each slide. So when the time comes to present, yes, you may be a little bit shy and bashful at first, but as soon as you kick off and you get going, you are so confident because you know what you put in the presentation. You know every word. You know every slide. You've prepared for this. So you're going to deliver the bomb presentation because you're already ready for it. Same thing with buying a home. You know what steps. The best thing to do is to educate yourself. And to educate yourself, you may have to go beyond these Facebook videos. So this leads me into letting you know that I have a great course that I would love for you to purchase. It is the step-by-step process from beginning to end of the home buying process. Everything I can't share with you on these videos because I just can't. But I've taken the time, I've taken hours and hours and hours of time to compile the most asked questions that home buyers have before they start the process. So you're going to be so educated and so on top of it, so sure, not nervous at all. You're going to be ready to face your home buying process with joy and happiness and enthusiasm. Why? Because you know what to do. So I've dropped the link to the course in the comments. And let me say, I'm calling it a course, but it's really a program because it's just all videos. You don't have to answer anything, answer any questions, just hit play and listen. That's all you have to do is like you're listening to me now. This course is designed to teach you everything from credit to mortgages, to negotiations, to home shopping, to home inspections, to appraisals, to closing, even what to wear on your closing. I have left nothing out. All the details are there. And guess what? You're not going to believe this. It's only $25. My goal is not to get rich. I'm doing this as a labor of love. This is my legacy that I'm leaving in the earth because I'm passionate about first-time buyers, and I'm extremely passionate about older buyers. So check out the course, check out the program, the video, whatever you want to call it. It is dynamic. Now, back to my nervous buyers. I think you got the point. I just really want you to settle down, settle in, lock in, be ready to go, be watchful, be aware, be mindful of what you're looking for, be mindful of what you want, but enjoy the process. Trust your team of people that you've hired, that you've chosen to help you along the way. Okay? Do your research, but don't go down the rabbit hole of all the different loan types and studying what VA, FHA, conventional, rural development. You need to know about them, but you're only going to fit into the best category. So if you're an FHA buyer, cool. Learn a little bit about FHA, but then move on. You don't have to know the criteria and just, you don't have to know all of that about every loan type. If you're not a veteran, then there's no need to study the VA loan. If you're not going to live in a rural community outside of your city, then there's no need to look at the USDA loan, the rural development loan. So you can eliminate a lot of your stress by streamlining the things that are most important to you. So thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you. Don't be a nervous buyer. Be an educated, well-informed buyer. Have fun. Enjoy the process. Rejoice that you've been pre-approved. When you do get your approval letter, be thankful and grateful that God has given you the means and the ability to even buy a home. It's a blessing. And I want you to enjoy your blessing. And I want you to enjoy the process so that you can encourage other people to buy a home too. You can encourage your family members. Look, I bought a house. I didn't think I could. I was so nervous, but I relaxed. I was prepared, and I hired a great realtor. I chose a great loan officer, and the process was so seamless. It was so smooth. It was so easy. And I just encourage you to call my person here and call my person there, and they're going to take great care of you. I want you to become the walking testimony for the home buying process. And you can do that if you enjoy the process, and if you're not so nervous, and if you don't drive everybody crazy, and if you don't make yourself sick. You can enjoy it and share the benefits of becoming a homeowner with those that are at your job and your family and your friends. So, okay, thank you for watching. I appreciate you. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. It's free. You help me grow this channel. You help me reach other older home buyers just like yourselves that are wanting to become a homeowner within the next 12 months or less. I would appreciate your help in sharing and liking and subscribing. Thank you so much. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.